What's going on, people? Welcome back to Premzy TV. It's a madness. First of all, congratulations, Man City, because we've absolutely fucked it. And to be fair, I'm not even too disappointed because I knew what time it was since West Ham. You get me? When you're throwing away 2-goal lead to West Ham, that's no good. And then you follow up with a Southampton result, you know that it's over. But you expect to see some fight, some grit, some determination from the boys. But it's a mad thing. I'm just trying to fix my e-cig right about now, people, because man's man's vexed. I'll be honest, because end of the season, bottle jobs. Yep, definitely bottle jobs. You just expect more and you expect better from this crop of players. We've seen all season. They've been living up to tests. They've been playing fantastic football, free flowing football. And towards the latter part of the season where it counts, no balls shown. No balls shown. Simple as that, people. And I think let's just touch straight onto the game because it was surprising for me to see Kieran Tierney not start this game. You know, that just indicates one clear thing. He's going in the summer. Whether you like it or not, if you're telling me Kieran Tierney can't start in this team, I'm not buying that. You get me? I'm not buying it at all. So that tells me Kieran Tierney's on his way out of Arsenal Football Club. And I don't blame him. To be fair, you got to be pissed off if you're sitting on the bench. You're the only left back that's fit, and they're playing Granit Xhaka in that kind of position. It's a bit of a mad thing. But having said that, I think Arteta tried something different. I think he tried to copy Man City and go with a 3-3-1-3 and play Kivior out towards the left, Gabriel central, and Ben White on the right, and he actually played Jorginho, Partey, and Xhaka in the midfield, something that we haven't seen before. But he didn't do anything for us. You get me? We might have had a lot of possession, but we don't clear cut opportunities. At times, man ain't making no runs. You got players shouting at each other saying, "You make this run, you make that run." We weren't seeing none of this in the early parts of the season. The bottom line of it is the confidence is on the floor. It must have took a lot out of the boys to challenge for this long, but you can see it's finally the air's fully out of their cheeks right about now, and they've absolutely capitulated because 2 losses on the bounce, one at home to Brighton, that just got pumped in by Everton, and then now to away to Nottingham Forest. It's not for me. It's not for me. You get me? There's going to be a lot of questions asked about Arteta next season, depending on what he does, because there's going to be a lot of pressure on his head. We could say, yeah, we have come leaps and bounds this season in the aspects of finishing second and actually putting up a title charge. But when you look at it from the bigger picture, it is very disappointing because objectives change during the season. At the start, yeah, nobody believed or nobody thought Arsenal are going to be going out there and challenging. However, during the season, we put up a good fight, turning teams over, free-flowing football, objectives change. And I think all Arsenal fans believed and hoped that we were going to go on and win the league. We know we're not daft. We know it's not going to be an easy ride against Man City. But the way we've kind of fell off in recent weeks, it's not being good, it's not being healthy, and it's not going to do anything good for the players. Now moving forward, when this new season starts and the window opens, we need to see some significant changes, and we need to look at the situation, look at the squad as a whole. Don't be sentimental to players and let certain man go if they need to be going out of the team. You get me? And that's for the likes of Thomas Partey and players like that as well. If Thomas Partey isn't living up to it, get rid. Bring somebody else in, somebody younger, somebody that's less injury prone, someone that could fill his boots in. A Casado, it looks like we've been linked to him. It looks like we've been linked to Declan Rice. Go out there and make these signings. We've seen Edu sitting in the stands today, and he must be sitting there thinking, fucking hell, where have we gone wrong here? You get me? And I tell you where we went wrong. In January, we should have recruited better. That's the God's honest truth. That's what we should have done. Went and put the money down, paid over the odds, and brought in a man like Casado, because that's ultimately where we fucked it. We didn't have the last little bits in order to get over the line. Now, look, Man City are champions. I wanted to push it right to the last day, but it looks like we can't do that now. And now, what is there left to play for? Absolute fuck all, because we sacrificed all the cup competitions this season, which I'm not happy about. And I was never happy about, to be fair. For me, it wasn't one of them situations where we sacrificed the cups and then we look towards the Premier League and throw all our eggs in the basket. That was never for me. You get me? Arsenal Football Club should be challenging on all fronts. And if we can't get our club challenging on all fronts, then we need to be looking at new managers, new players, and new people that are running the club, because we can't let this institution turn to shit. And for 19 years, yeah, we might have won 4 FA Cups and whatnot. We want to be going for the bigger prizes, but we need to be winning things on a regular basis for me. So this summer is massive, because we have made progression this season. We definitely have. If you take a step back and take your angry hat on, like, I'll be honest, my angry hat's on, because what I just seen, nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near good enough. You get me? There's just there's no purpose in the passing. There's no purpose when we're taking players on. We can never find the final pass. We'd never take shots. It's starting to really piss me off. It is pissing me off on a different level. But look, I want to talk about the game a little bit. I think Nottingham Forest, you got to give these man a bit of credit. You know, they made it ugly for us, especially in the opening parts of the game. They were on us, pressures, long throw-ins, using that ability to try to throw us off balance and get the goal that way. And to be fair to them, for the first couple of minutes or so, 5, 6 minutes, they had the pressure on us. I think we slowly start to grow into the game. And ultimately, there was no clear-cut chances. You get me? There was just dead-end passing. And Martin Odegaard, fucking hell, what a mistake from Martin Odegaard, a player that we could be relying on this season. And he's actually pulled up trees for us. What a mistake. Give the ball away. Gibbs got the ball, Gibbs White, and put the ball in, and they scored. So it's a bit of a mad thing. You know what I mean? It's a mad thing, because players that we could rely on earlier on in the season now looking like the head's just gone and the confidence is fully out their system. It's a bit of a mad thing. But look, it looks like Nottingham Forest, they threw everyone behind the ball. They were bringing centre backs on towards the back end of the game just to shore it up, and they were fighting for their lives. And the bottom line of it is, these men have clinched promotion, clinched to stay in the Premier League now, where they had a lot to fight for. You get me? With our recent results, this game, we knew even if we won this game, we're not winning the league. You get me? It looks like the boys have checked out, in my opinion. The boys have definitely checked out. Make sure you're smashing a like on this video as well, people. I'm going to get through some of the comments as well in just a moment. Um, but I just want to go through who I will get rid of in the squad first, because for me, there's a number of players that need to go. Granit Xhaka, if he's not happy to be on the bench and come in and be a bit part player, he can go. Mohamed El Nene, personally, I don't know why we give him another year extension. He should have gone as well. You get me? Jorginho, I would keep Jorginho, let him come off the bench, have that experience in the team. Thomas Partey, if we could get some money for him, sell him, bring somebody else in better. That's my God's honest truth. Eddie Nketiah, not good enough. Get me? He came in, he did well at bits when Jesus was out, but I think consistently, he's not going to be the killer that we need. Jesus, say to Jesus, yeah, you need to be a right winger. It's not time for you to be a striker in this team, because his finishing is fucking woeful. You get me? He looks like he's been taking shot practice with Thomas Partey, because there was one little pattern of play in the first half where he did all right. You get me? He got the ball, he turned. We've seen the best of Jesus. Next thing you know, he fucking absolutely goes and tries to hit a bird in the sky with a shot. He needs to go on the right hand side and battling that out with Saka, Martinelli, and Trossard on the left hand side. They need to battle that out, and we need to go in and buy an absolute killer up front. That's what we need to do. We're serious now. We need to go out there and buy a killer up front. I wanted Ivan Toney, 8 months ban. It looks like no one's going to be signing him anytime soon. Go and put the money down for Osimhen and go and bring him in. Go and buy that striker now that's going to transform this team. Bring in the likes of Casado, bring in the likes of Declan Rice, go and buy another centre back or a right back. Go and do this, because we need to now go from here to here. If we want any chance of challenging next season, we need to recruit really well, because everyone else is going to strengthen. You're going to have Pochettino in at Chelsea. For me, who's a good manager, it's going to take him a little bit of time, but it wouldn't surprise me if he got them by the reins real quick. Tottenham, I wouldn't put Tottenham in the conversation. But having said that, we don't know what could potentially happen at their club, who they can bring in, and what kind of summer they will have. If they keep hold of Harry Kane or not, that'll be a big plus for them. You got to look at Liverpool. They're only going to recruit. They're only going to bring players in and get back to where they were, because under Jurgen Klopp, we know what he's like as a manager. He's not going to be dead low for time. Man United, Eric Ten Hag, he looks like he's done a good job there. You get me, at United personally. He's won a trophy in his first year. He's got them top four. You can see United putting money in the team, because regardless of sales of the club or whatnot, they always spend money on the team, and they're always pumping in money into the club. It might not be in the infrastructure, but in the team, they spend money. They're going to end up bringing players in and go to another level. Then you got the likes of Newcastle, and Newcastle, they're not going to be a joke of a team. With Champions League football, just imagine the players that they can attract, the amount of wages that they can give to players, the upfront fees that they can pay, rather than paying it in bits and bobs and little drips and drabs. So they're going to be a force as well. Man City, we already know what Man City are. Man City are an absolute machine. 9 out of 10 are going to go on and win the treble this year. So it's going to be even harder. This is why our summer window is going to be so important. We cannot afford to fuck up, because if we fuck up in the summer, and say, for example, next season we end up finishing fifth, sixth, seventh, then it looks like there's a lot of heap of pressure on Arteta, because two eighth place finishes, a fifth place finish, a second place finish, and then dropping back down to whatever it might be, that is not good enough. And then we need to look on and see, yeah, well done, Arteta. You've took this team to a certain level, and you brought in a structure. You brought the fan base together. Who else now can come in and take this to the next level? And in the Champions League, we're going to need big squad depth, because I don't just want to be making no numbers up in the Champions League anymore. I'm fucking sick and tired of it. You get me? I want to see us actually going to win that competition, because regardless of what, I know Man City have got the money and whatnot, but they went in the Champions League for years and years and years compared to Arsenal. And it looks like these men are going to win it before us. I'm not happy about that. You get me? A lot of people can butter over a lot of shit, but I just say it as it is. For me, I won't be happy about it. Simple as that. Let's read some of your comments as well. Big up everybody in the chat. I know you're probably feeling disappointed and wounded as well, because it is mad in contrast of performances that we've been seeing. Get me? We can see Man City Sharks are already in the chat, but you got to take your hat off to them. Big up to them, because fucking outstanding football club. Absolutely outstanding. Let's get some of your comments in. Arsenal can get you sick. Do you know what? It's a mad thing. Man are saying bottle jobs FC, Premzy keep crying. To be fair, I'm not crying really. I already kind of knew that this wasn't going to happen from a long time ago, so I've been all right with it. It's just very frustrating and disappointing when you put a lot of energy into your team this season, and so you should. But then, right at the vital parts, you start to falter, and you start to not see the same kind of desire and passion and balls that you've seen from the start of the season. So it is bitterly disappointing. Absolute pretenders. Arteta is the worst manager I've seen at a top club, or certainly top five. Just glad you, man, have him. Uh, I don't know about that. It can't be that bad compared to your guy if he's finished above him, to be fair. He won a FA Cup in his first season, better than what Ten Hag's won in his first season. So I don't know about that just yet. We're going to have to wait and see what Arteta's about next season, and we can only wait and see, because realistically, he can go out there, he might make some shrewd signings, he might be ruthless with the team that we got now. And you don't know, we can go and win the FA Cup, win the Carabao Cup, get to the latter parts of the Champions League, and still be in a title race. And then people will be looking at Arteta saying, you know what, he's definitely transformed Arsenal around. So we're going to have to wait and see and give him that time. And I think this season he's deserved that time to see what he can do and where he can go next season. But if he doesn't do none of them things, then the pressure is going to be onto him 110%. Big up Marcel in the cut, my brother. Bless up Premzy. Big up Premzy. This club is a gifting club. It's poor. Every time they gift. We know the league was City's because we flopped. but crunch time to get points on the board, they gift 100%. It seems to be when the pressure's off, we can get the victories. As soon as the pressure is on, it's a bit of a mad thing. It's a bit of a mad thing. What happens if Arteta does not improve on this year's achievement? If Arteta doesn't improve on this year's achievement, and that means still be in a title race next year and potentially win two cups, one maybe get into the latter parts of the Champions League, then we've got to be looking at maybe a change in the manager, and that's the God's honest truth. I've been giving him a backing, and like I said, we're still going to have to wait and see what he can do because we have definitely improved as a team on the whole. I just think the lack of experience has just basically made us fall short. The lack of character as well has made us fall short. And also, I think the timing of William Saliba's injury didn't help us. Didn't help us at all. But I'm not trying to give out any excuses. It wasn't good enough. We bottled it from the position we was on in. I think 30 games, 8 points on top, 8 games to go or something like that. Mad thing. This is a sack. This is sackable form. Uh, it's one of them. It's mad, innit? It's mad. But this is what I like to see. I like to see the Arsenal fan standards getting raised again because for many a year we was just accepting a load of shit. That's the God's honest truth. This was a disgrace. Do you know what, bro? I can't really argue with that at all. Premzy, we are in big trouble next season. It's the same six season that fall apart last season. Same six season. I don't get it, but yeah. We need 6, 7 players that can start at this club. I'd say 5, 6. I think if we bring in 7 players, then happy days. But I can't see Arsenal going out there and spending that much money. I'll be honest with you. I think if we go out there and spend a 300 mil, best part of that's probably going to be taken on 2 players. And then we definitely need a striker. For me, if we brought in, say, four top bangers, 4 proper quality players, and brought in 2, I wouldn't say prodigies because I don't want that, 2, say, experienced players, 2 quality players, but maybe that's gonna not really cost us much, like in Gundogan, sorry, should I say rather. We could get him from a City. Happy days, bags full of experience in the Premier League, quality player in my opinion, and he's on a free. So obviously it's not my money, so if I'd spend unlimited, but we've got to look at the situation in it. I don't think Arsenal historically are going to do that. Unfortunately, Arteta era is just it's Pochettino, and it's a mad thing. It's an absolute mad thing. Big summer needed, a trophy and competing. I'm expecting next season. Otherwise, Arteta needs to be sacked. Can't see us getting out of the group stages of the Champions League. Well, we've got to see who we get in the group stages first, bro. But you don't know. Hopefully, fingers crossed. To be fair, we have to stay together as a fan base because we have done well this season in the aspects of team growth and development of where we have been. Obviously, understandable. We've bottled the league and it doesn't seem to make anyone happy, which it shouldn't. But I have seen improvements in the team this season. I've seen when our first 11's in and in play, we look all right. So I'm just hoping we can use this as a stepping stone for next season and improve even more. Joking, Premzy, I'm on loan to Dortmund. I don't know about that. I can't really go on loan to anyone. Man's loyal to the game, whether they give me depression or not, bro. You just got to stick with it. It's a mad thing. I'll get to that one in a second. Back-to-back seasons, we folded at the end, draining for our fan base. You know what? It is draining, but I'd rather be in a title chase and title challenge than competing for top 4 and trying to get top 4. You know what I mean? Because at least it gives you that kind of energy, and it is a lot much more of a better feeling challenging for the title than challenging for top 4. So we just got to make sure that we improve on next season and don't let this season go to a waste. Everything about these last 2 months was disgraceful. Honestly, to compete next season, we must maximise in the summer transfer window. Thoughts? I've just been banging on about it for the last 20 minutes or so. I totally agree with you. I think that's what we need to be doing. We need to go out there, be ruthless, go and make them kind of signings that we need. and just hope and pray that it comes good and we can get ourselves a few trophies next season. We can go out there, put a good fight in the Champions League, and who knows, maybe go on and win the Champions League, because it's not impossible. Do you know what I'm saying? We've seen Tottenham get to the final. We've seen many other teams get to the final. Look at it. Look at Inter Milan. They, to be fair, they've been poor really in my eyes, and they managed to get to the final this year. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can go on and do something good for people. But it's just disappointing, bitterly disappointing. But people, make sure you go and check out my Instagram. It's over there, Premzy_AFC. If you're not following me, go and follow me on Instagram as well. I'm going to probably go over there and do an Instagram live in just a moment as well. So you could catch me on there. And also, I'm going to probably add a few of you guys into the chat as well on Instagram and have a live chat around Arsenal and see what you man are thinking. Big up my bro in the cut. I see you. But yeah, man, before you go, make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe if you're new people. Peace and love, and we'll see you on the next one.